Hi, I'm Karen Collins here at the SCAN, Sports Cardiovascular and Wellness Nutrition Conference with Dan Buettner, founder and CEO of Blue Zones, who just gave our opening keynote address. Dan is a best-selling author who's been trekking all over the world exploring blue zones with his team for National Geographic, working on really helping us to identify how we can live longer, healthier lives. And I'm thrilled to give you the chance to share in this time with him.
You said that better than I could.
Well, thank you, and thanks for this time, Dan.
You're welcome.
For the people who aren't familiar with blue zones, can you give us the nutshell of what a blue zone is and how these were identified?
Blue zone is an area of the world where people live measurably longer, and significantly measurably longer. And they were identified by demographers who look at birth records and death records and do the math. So their populations, usually between 10,000 to 1 million, and they're living to age 100 at extraordinary rates, or they have a fraction of the rate of the diseases that kill us, or they have the highest life expectancy.
So a key piece here is not only longer lives, but actually longer, healthier lives. These people that you profile are living really vibrant lives, right? Yes,
if you look at the well-being data around the world and you look at the longevity data, you see about 80% overlap. These people are reaching age 90 at extraordinary rates, and they're doing so, saying that they have very high life satisfaction.
A lot of people jump to the conclusion that this longevity is genetic, that maybe these isolated populations have intermarried so long that it's just genetic. And how would you answer that?
Well, there's a very small percentage of the population who can have really bad lifestyles, drink whiskey and eat fatty food and make it to 100. And everybody says, well, look what he did, he made it to 100. And then there's a tiny percentage also who can run marathons and eat beet sprouts and be dead at 50. But for most of us, 90% of us, 80% of how long we live is dictated by environment and our lifestyle. So most of us can modify that, and most of us can live an extra decade if we do the right things.
Although these blue zones were spread all over the world, they boiled down to several characteristics that seem to be consistent throughout the world, right?
You can explain most of longevity, I think, by looking at the environment they live in. These places, people walk to the grocery store, they walk to their friend's house, they tend to have gardens, they tend to have a sense of purpose, which we think is worth 7 years of life expectancy. They have ritualistic times of the day where they're downshifting, reducing chronic inflammation that comes with our stressful lives. They tend to eat plant-based diets, lots of beans. They drink a little. They tend to belong to faith-based communities, which I think instinctively a lot of us know is good, but there's really hard research to show people who show up. It doesn't matter if you're a Jew or Muslim or Christian, showing up helps. And really thinking about who we hang out with. Our tribe, as I like to call it, makes a huge difference on whether or not we smoke, whether or not we do drugs, whether or not we eat Doritos or eat vegan. That's who our friends are.
Yeah. What about the people who find this list of 9 things overwhelming? I found it interesting in your presentation this morning where you said, you know what was it, pick 5? And,
yeah.
You knock 6 years off, add 6 years?
Yeah. It's an a la carte menu. And I won't even tell you to try to do the hard things, because you probably won't do them for the long run. So I say pick the 5 easiest and do them. And you'll, at any age, you'll add to your life expectancy.